Hey, good evening, everyone. It's Maria back with another video. I'm winding down here, getting ready to head for bed, and I just kind of wanted to follow up on that video. And the purpose of that video is not to sit here and like constantly harp on it. Okay, this is a very cleansing process for me. Um, I don't like bringing up negative things. I really don't. But you start realizing that something's wrong, and I'm glad to know that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm glad to know that it wasn't my fault. That things that happened in my past were just like a constant web of just it wasn't something I could have ever helped. That's not to say that I never did anything wrong. I mean, obviously I have done things wrong in the past, but like everyone in their life, you grow up and you live and you learn and you correct your mistakes. And, I think my family, they don't see their errors. They don't see what they do wrong. They just like to point out everybody else's problems. And that's, part of the scapegoating mentality. And so, that's heavy. It was heavy on my mind today. I was like, what the hell? I mean, like, there are some people, I'm not necessarily referring to them, but obviously they have this characteristic. There are some people who just cannot stop taking. They don't know boundaries. They don't know or care or consider a person's feelings, their anything. Because they just don't. They either think that person just doesn't matter, or in their case, I think in my sister's case, I think that they did it out of jealousy, which there's certain things that indicate that was the motivating factor. And that's really sad, because I've never felt competitive towards my siblings at all. I can't even understand why they would do that, but or why they would even take an interest. Because like I said, I think in one of my other videos, which I tend to repeat myself a lot, I don't know where my oldest sister Tanya works. I have no idea. I know what she does for a living, but I have no idea. I mean, I don't think about sitting here figuring out, is she good at her job and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You know what I mean? All these years, I was just wishing her well, hoping she was doing okay. I never thought about picking her apart or anything like that. But I guess they thought, that because I had so many problems in school, which they created. See, and that's just it. They mess up your life at school, and then they wonder why you can't stand being there. Okay? So then they sit there and they complain because they're setting you up in these situations where you're constantly being harassed or being treated differently or whatever, and it's their fault. Same thing with the work issue. The work issue is, I'm ready to make a new start in my life, and I'm going to work every day, doing what I need to do, and then I leave a job because the harassment just gets out of control. It's not because of my performance. It's not because of anything. And it's always like this. And then they sit there and think, oh, well, she just can't hold down a job. That's not it. It's them. You know what I mean? They're the problem. And, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, oh my God, And the issues that they use other people. They use other people for their mouthpiece because it's all a cowardice. They're very cowardice. They will never talk about these issues directly, And I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily referring to my family, but this is my observation based on, what I've experienced with them and other people who like to sabotage and destroy people's lives. They never talk about their concern, their so-called concern directly to you. They just want to talk around you and create drama and add their 2 cents worth and their gossip and their speculations and their negative ideas and throw all this bullshit into the mix. And instead of just saying, hey, is this really going on, or I'm concerned about you. You know what I mean? So it's a constant game of manipulation. And when I was younger, I would say that because of being I guess, bullied in school or whatever, you know, it was the same thing. It was the same thing. It was like, you know, I'm just like amazed at how people could just trample over other people and think nothing of it. Think absolutely nothing of it. Like, I will tell you that I haven't had a regular Christmas since leaving the farmer's place. Okay? There's been times where, you know, I've had my utility bills, my utilities shut off. I've had problems because of being unemployed. And it's their fault. It's their fault. And then they sat there and made a game. I mean, I'm just like, I'm shocked at who these people are. You know what I mean? I'm shocked and I'm disgusted, you know? And I'm amazed that something so hideous could hide behind this mask. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I go over there to their house for the holidays, and I would never think that they were doing something like that. You know what I mean? Everything's all peaceful, and, you know, I know my sister Tanya would sit there and give me the side eyeball every once in a while. I could see her staring at me, and I thought, okay, that's weird. Maybe she's thinking, man, I don't know what she's looking at, but she would just give me that weird look. And, but I never realized that they would do something like this. Never in a million years. Never. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, wow. You know what I mean? It's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much. And so it's not like I'm the kind of person that can't overlook certain things. Because, you know, it's one thing, like, if you let your friend borrow your car and they accidentally, you know, get in a small accident or something. I can forgive things like that. Okay? I can totally forgive stuff like this. But, you know, the thing is that there's no forgiveness for something this serious. You know, by bullying a person when they're younger and then thinking it's okay. And then with these people, what I assume that they thought that there was something mentally wrong with me because of their bullying and being an awkward kid or whatever. And then they sit here and go into a workplace and they harass somebody who they perceive to be off. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, what kind of monsters would do such a thing? You know? It just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. But anyway, yeah. So this bullshit went all across the United States, which I think is bizarre. You know what I mean? And it blows my mind because it's like people will hold you in contempt over shit that doesn't exist. They don't care if it's right or wrong, if it's proven, if it's whatever. It's just like, that's the shit, you know, you're guilty, period. You know, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so people think that they can just, like, shut you out of employment and treat you like that? I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? If it was well known that my family was stirring up all this bullshit in town, why is everybody pointing the finger at me? That makes no sense. Unless, of course, they were pissed off about me lying to my husband back in 2001. Back in 2001. I mean, you know, who cares? You know what I mean? Unless, of course, we're dealing with a racial issue. So, you know, all of it is just so stupid to me. All of it. It's so stupid. Like, if my family was concerned about that issue, you know what I mean? Which they never made any real attempts to actually get to know him. You know what I mean? So, I don't understand what the whole deal is. But it seems as though if they were concerned about that issue, about me talking to him about that, then that would be a one-on-one conversation that they would have with me if they were really concerned. Okay? It's this bullshit about them acting like they're so concerned. They're not fucking concerned. They're nosy, busybody pieces of shit is what they are. So, yeah. So, you know, but, you know, I have to say that doesn't damper the memories that I had of childhood. Really, it doesn't. I mean, sure, I was kind of a loner as a kid, but, you know, it was also, I had a beautiful time there, you know, like, in my mind. I guess I was very creative, and I always felt like, you know, there was always something better, and, you know, I don't know, I just always had a positive outlook, even though there were times where I had to deal with bullshit. Because I can look back on my childhood and be very happy. Now, mind you, I wasn't really sharing my happy with other people mostly, but it was more like, you know, just remembering, you know, playing out in the sun, or, you know, enjoying seeing the garden that my parents had in the backyard, and just positive things that I could, you know, I look back on. And of course, like the music and you know, my roller disco years, you know, when I was a kid being all silly. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect how I felt about childhood. It just doesn't, you know. And I guess maybe my brain kind of overrides that a little bit. I mean, because I'm able to do that. I mean, to me, I had a good childhood. I really did. And of course, I was naive in thinking that my family was just rude. I didn't think that they were just like downright psychotic. But wow, you know, wow. So, you know, this happens to a lot of people. And, you know, I said it before and I'll say it again. This should never happen to anyone. And, you know, I know a lot of people kind of like, well, I don't see what the big deal is. It doesn't, it's wrong, okay? If I was somebody who's, you know, like a job developer or somebody who's in that position, I would probably tell that person, like if somebody wanted to arrange a job or something, I would say, you know what, if I was like working for an agency or something, if they give me a name of a person, well, a reference is a reference, I would make sure I would contact that person directly and let them know somebody recommended me. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do things behind the scenes like that. You're going to cause problems. You know, one of the jobs that I was assigned, you know, it was below my expectation. And I remember calling the manager of the headquarters. I'm not going to mention the name. And I remember saying, you know, I told her, this is, you know, kind of below my skill level. She was like, well, yeah. That's exactly what she said. Well, yeah. Like, of course it is. Like, why would you give somebody something like that? You know? It's like, it's like, you don't, God, you know, I'm not even going to go there, okay? That's how irritated I get from this whole situation. You know what I mean? So basically, my family created all this drama and then punishes me for not sticking out their weird psychotic rage. Is basically how that goes. You know what I mean? I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I don't have to live the way that they live. I don't want to. You know what I mean? They're vengeful, hateful, evil, manipulative people is what they are. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm like flabbergasted that somebody would do something like that. I really am. I'm completely flabbergasted. You know what I mean? Like, no regard for any of my future plans. Oh, I'm suppose they thought I was going to get married, right? Is that what they thought? They don't realize what I have to deal with because of their bullshit. You know what I mean? Everything that I deal with or I go through in life is a result of being in that household. Okay? And I take full responsibility for everything I've ever done wrong, okay? Like, for example, I had a child out of wedlock, okay? I made sure that I raised my child. Okay? I didn't want to sit here and ask people for shit, you know, or you know, I did the best I could, okay? And, especially under the kind of stress I had to deal with, these fucking people getting in my life. And, you know, and the problem with it is that, you know, you can never make people like that happy. And I'm talking about the hypocritical Christians, okay? Now, you'll see some of these hypocrite Christians with picket signs, you know, talking about how they don't approve of abortion, right? So then you try to do the right thing. Try to do the right thing and say, you know what? Okay, I respect human life, so I'm going to have this child, okay? So then you have the child, and guess what? They hate you because you had an illegitimate child. It makes no sense. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense is because it had nothing to do with being a good, virtuous person with high moral standards. It's just that they fucking hate you, period. You know what I mean? And it's another indication of their psychotic rage, because they're sitting here bitching about the fact that I wear slacks and shit like that at work sometimes, or, you know, if I'm dressed up nice one day, you know, if I'm in an office, I'm going to dress up nice, okay? But, like, when I was working at the Murray's place, it could be whatever. Because it was like, there were times there was mud all over the goddamn place. Or there was, you know, whatever. You know, so, depending on the weather, I'm not going to sit here and bend over backwards wearing, you know, dresses or something. So there were times, like, during the summer, I'd come in with my hair short and wearing jeans or whatever. And guess what? I'm getting fucking nitpicked apart over that. So these people, like I said, just fucking want to bitch about anything. You know what I mean? And I'm done with it. I'm done. You know, it's ridiculous. Nobody should have to do and go to work and be dealing with that bullshit. They just don't. You know? And I can't. And I know that if my sisters are watching these videos, they're probably thinking, okay, you don't have to keep going on and on and on about it. Yeah, I kind of do. Okay? I kind of do. Because everyone that I know is associated with you. And I'm not going to talk to them either. Okay? Because you basically made everybody a goddamn perp at this point. And it's not about forgiveness. Like I said, this sort of thing cannot be overlooked. It cannot be forgiven. I mean, it's forgiven in the sense that I have to move on. You know what I mean? It's forgiven in the sense that I'm not going to turn around and try to retaliate or something. I mean, I'm not. I need to just walk away from you guys and just forget you guys. Forget you. You know, because you add no value to my life. You're selfish, you're absorbed, you're evil, and you sit there and you pick apart everything I do. And yet Culligan Man and his daughter were just as guilty as whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, just get out of my shit already. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know? And I it's scapegoating. It's scapegoating to, God, it's like, and I figured, and the way that this Steve Murray, I remember when the mobbing started happening, he referred to me as a scapegoat in one of his emails that he was sending to one of his, I don't know, somebody, I guess, a business partner. I don't remember who he was sending it to, okay? He forwarded an email to me, I read it, and then I kept thinking, what does that mean? Now I understand what it means, okay? So basically, here's a man who basically knew that I was being harassed at work, and he brings these people into my workplace. He opens the door for this sort of bullshit, okay? Employers do not participate in stalking activity. They are stalkers, okay? They turn around, they fuck shit up. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Whew. Anyway. I don't mean to go on and on about it, but, you know, it's like I kind of have to. You know what I mean? Kind of have to, because they basically left me for dead. Like, what was it? The Christmas of 2016? Was it 15? Yeah, I think it was 2015, okay? Time was just going by so fast. Okay, it was like around Christmas time. So I'm doing what I could to try to find, you know, a job. And it's like, these people knew good and well that I was put in this situation. And they said absolutely nothing. Nothing. They stirred up all this bullshit, created all this drama, and then they just left me for dead. And these people have the nerve to call themselves Christian. That pisses me off like you just do not even know. Okay? It's fucking unforgivable. From the past, the present, and what I have to deal with in the future. All of it is completely unforgivable. You know? So, I mean, that's just, and like I said, when I say unforgivable, I mean unforgivable in a sense where it's just better to cut ties. You know what I mean? I can't fucking ever think about ever having anything to do with those people. And one other issue that bothers me is that they bring all these people involved in my personal shit. It's like, I don't want people involved in my personal shit. I don't want people knowing about my employment situation, my life, any of that. If I figured that was if I wanted people to know, I would tell them myself. Okay? And I would tell them what's really going on in my life. Okay? Not some made up bullshit. You know what I mean? It just, I'm so tired of these people already. You know? And no, there's no fucking remorse. I don't feel sad. I don't feel like, you know, I'm gonna miss them. I'm fucking glad to get those motherfuckers out of my life, okay? Goodbye, good riddance. You know? You've done absolutely nothing for me. Okay? Except for fucking ruin my shit. So, and like I said, you know, don't use the excuse, well, we just felt like it was really important for you to tell Joel that you were really black or whatever. Okay, first of all, like I said, if it was really that much of a concern, okay, and I'm not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying you need to tell me that, okay? It doesn't need to be blared all over the goddamn place. If you really gave a shit, you'd nip the shit in the bud. I would tell you what, if I cared about one of my fucking friends, if I cared about them enough, I would talk to them directly, okay? When people go around, the issue, when they tell everybody else, they're not really trying to be helpful. They're just wanting attention, okay? Attention whores, I guess, is what you want to call them. But anyway, I had to get that off my chest, because I woke up this morning, and I was like, something's not right, Maria. There's something brewing underneath. You're a little pissed off. It's like, okay, I probably will make a video. So I did. I made, like, one video, and then now I have 2 videos. So anyway, I felt as though I said my piece about the issue. If I have any more issues, I will get up in the middle of the night, and I will make another video. Okay? I mean, I have to deal with my issues the best way I know how, But I know that in my past, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, okay, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I am a victim of abuse. Okay, now not the kind of abuse where somebody's bashing you in the face, but they're basically constantly sabotaging you, the triangulation type issues, the, stalking you everywhere, and then putting their low opinion of you to everybody else, okay? Because like I said, for my early foundations, I didn't have a hard time making friends, you know what I mean? But they would always make sure that they would destroy each and every friendship. These people are just fucking crazy, and they're competitive. And that's just how they are, you know what I mean? And I'm not, that's why I'm dealing with people at work, like that lady Lisa, when I worked at Chatsworth, was constantly bitching because I use shortcut keys. And they set these perps up in positions where they initiate the mobbing process. When like I said before, you don't do that. You never let a subordinate ever critique a manager. You just don't do it. Okay? You're asking for fucking harassment there. Okay? And what difference does it make if you use the shortcut keys or you do it the long way? The fact is, it's none of your business. Then they had some nationwide Excel contest. I mean, it was so ridiculous. I can't even tell you how disgusted I am to belong to that family. I really am. I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted by their behavior. So anyway, and that's not to say I never did anything wrong. I'm not saying that I'm a precious angel. Yes, I've done things wrong in the past, and I've tried to correct them. Okay? But I'll tell you what, I would never hurt somebody's life like this. Okay? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I would never harass somebody at work. I would never create drama. And if I really cared about somebody, I would definitely confront them head on, okay? I resent your intrusion into my life. Get out and stay out. Wrapping up this video. For everyone else, have a good night.